Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Explore the Shires. I'm Matt Harrington, your host with the Bennington Regional Chamber of Commerce, and with me as always is Cat TV. We're here at DiBuono Ravioli, and we're gonna go meet with Chef Scott to figure out just how he makes those beautiful raviolis and everything else in his store right on Main Street in Bennington, Vermont. Let's go. Hey Scott.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for having us here today.
Nice to see you. Thank you and welcome.
So, DiBuono.
Yes.
Ravioli.
That's
but
right.
much more than ravioli.
Yeah.
You're going to show us a bunch of the things that you're doing in the store today, and you've been doing for how long now?
A little over 2 years.
You've been in this location.
A little over 2 years. February 14th, 2017.
Great, great.
So just a little while, you know, sort of learning the business, learning about the space, getting comfortable in the space, you know, things like that.
Now, did it start before then? I mean, obviously you've had to learn kind of how to do all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
When did that all happen?
I went to culinary school in Vermont
Okay.
at the New England Culinary Institute, which we know is in
Yep.
Montpelier. And before that, I was working at a restaurant where I had to make a different kind of ravioli once a week for 5 years, you know, and I started to get pretty good at it.
Yeah.
And I always sort of did it also as a little side business, and I've been doing it since I was about 19 years old.
Wow.
you
Wow.
know. So that's about 4 or 5 years.
So and then it culminated all into this storefront right here on Main Street in Bennington.
Yeah. We've always been sort of looking for the pasta shop. Oh, that would make a nice pasta shop, or this would make a nice thing. And we actually spent years looking at all the different locations here in Arlington, Manchester. We've looked all over the place. And this place opened up. It was timely. It was perfect. It had the right feel.
Yeah.
It looks like an old time, because I wanted it to have the old time feel of,
Sure.
an old pastry or a butcher shop, something like that from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's get started. You're going to show us today a couple of the specialties that you make.
Yeah.
You also provide cooking classes, so people could come after watching this, and you could teach them how to do a lot of the stuff we're going to go over.
Yeah, primarily the cooking classes. We've been focusing on ravioli making for one class, gnocchi making for another class. But I was a teacher at the New England Culinary Institute, so I'm used to teaching knife skills. So we do some professional knife skills. We do a lot of, I have a big antipasta spread ready for everybody when they come, because they're all coming from work and they're hungry and they want something to eat.
Yeah.
So we eat antipasta. We make all the fillings. We make the dough. Learn how to make an emulsified salad dressing and things like that. And then we put together a nice meal and we eat it. And we take a lot home.
Nice.
So
nice.
the value, it's all about good value, education. It's one night. It's usually on a Friday. Always on a Friday from about 6:30 to about 9, and we run late.
Yeah,
we
why
run
not?
late. We're having
Nice-
fun. People are
nice
allowed to
thing
bring
of
some wine,
pasta and wine, right?
Yeah.
Well, good. Let's get started. You're gonna help me kind of look through the ravioli, the pasta, and then even some other specialties.
Yeah.
That you
I'll
do.
show you.
And a customer coming in right now.
Hey, everybody, come on in.
Good. I just wanted to come in and tell you I come in and bought some pasta a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
It was delicious.
Awesome.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
It smells lovely.
Great.
Thank you.
Great on cue. Wonderful.
Yes.
And I've got a hat for you. You need to wear a hat.
We need to wear a hat when we're cooking Italian, right? Oh boy.
There you go. It's one of Grandpa DiBuono's, as is this. They all are.
How's that look?
Pretty good. Sure.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
Good.
It's made for you.
It's made for me.
This here, I just shut the irons off, but these are the pizzelles that we make fresh. These are the Italian cookies.
And they're sweet.
Yeah, they're sweet, not too sweet. One for you, one for you. And they should be crispy, light, airy, good vanilla, good sugar.
Right.
Let me make sure.
Now, what are these usually served with or on, or are they
Coffee,
pre-dinner?
espresso, tea.
Okay. Yep.
Mostly you can see they're crunchy, so they're meant for dunking.
Yep.
So you dunk them in your coffee or your tea. Pretty good.
Very good.
Those are lovely. And I've been making fresh bread every day, Italian bread.
Perfect.
All right. And basically this is just a nice semolina dough. And I'm going to cut fettuccine with this one.
Okay.
And you can see it is dry, right?
Yep.
Dry to the touch, but not so dry that it's brittle and wants to break. So that is ideal for this purpose because once I run it through the cutters, we don't want it to stick together and become a clump of dough again. So
there really is the right consistency, a right dryness to it.
Yeah, you know, dough is a funny thing. One of my slogans is dough happens. And that basically means that dough happens how it happens, when it happens. It's like you can't rush it.
Right.
You know, if it's going slow or it needs more moisture or whatever, you know, it sort of dictates your day. So that, just trimming the edges, try to make it look pretty.
Yep.
And from here, it's really simple. Nice, right?
Yeah, it looks great.
Okay. Sorry about the Home Depot. It's the only one I've got. But I cut them at 9 inches.
Okay.
27, 36. 18, and then this little bit we'll save for later. And actually all of these, you know, are perfectly wonderful. I take them home and eat them.
Yeah.
Or I give them to my friends or whatever, you know, so they're great. There you go. All right, you want to try? This one here is good.
Okay.
Grab it from underneath the back of your hands.
Okay.
Yep. Lay it down. Fortunately, this one's already trimmed, so not bad.
Okay. So you trim this one just like this.
I did already.
So now I just need to measure and cut.
Into 9-inch pieces. Yeah. Square it off here first of all.
You didn't say math was going to be involved in this.
Well, here, square this first.
Okay.
Like cut that. There you go. Now you got a nice even piece.
Okay.
There you go. Make them, you know, perfect. Otherwise, I'll be like Chef Michel.
Yeah.
We don't want us to be like Chef Michel.
And where's the, is that 36?
Yep.
Is that the last one?
There you go.
Okay, and then need to go forward a little bit.
Yeah.
That's done. Isn't it funny when you don't do it every day and then you want it to be so perfect? You're like, and I'm like, exactly 9. Exactly 9.
Yep. So, you know, a little bit dry, so we'll see how that reacts when it goes through the cutters.
Okay.
But dough has this wonderful sort of hygroscopic property where it, like, feel this, a little bit dry, right?
Yeah.
Okay. A little bit too dry, not as nice as the others. So if I was to take this and wrap it in saran wrap or some sort of plastic wrap, it would rehydrate. It would get moist again. And I can show you just by letting it sit on the table. Those drier ones are in the center, and we'll see how they come out in a few minutes.
Because it'll
That's right.
grab the moisture.
That's right. Okay, so these ones are nice and perfect. It's like being in the Play-Doh Fun Factory all day long, you know, really.
This is what we've been training for our whole childhood, right?
But, you know, beautiful. Look at that. It's not going to stick together. It's nice and thin, and it's strong enough that when you cook it, it's going to hold together just beautifully, you know. Lay it down. Just like that. Beautiful. All right, you ready? You want to try?
Okay, after this one.
Keep your fingers out of the machine.
Yeah. And be grabbing it on the other end.
There you go.
Okay.
You left-handed, right-handed?
Right-handed.
Okay. And just lay it across there. And it will catch. That's it. And collect it at the other side.
I got half of it.
Collect it in the center.
In the center.
Yeah.
Okay.
As it's coming through. All right. Now one more time. And you're coming like this.
Yep.
Go towards you.
Okay.
Like that.
Towards me.
There it is.
Yep. Almost. Almost.
Okay. One more time. You got to get it.
Gotta get it.
Yep.
This is the hard piece, though.
That's right. Uh-oh. Perfect.
There we go.
And after doing that about 1,000 times, you get really good at it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about what I do, though, is like we make 1,000 of this and that, and you want to make each one really, really good.
Yeah.
Okay, roll it together as tightly as you can, nice and tight. And we'll meet in the center. Awesome.
Chef Scott's beating me.
I've never done this before. All right, cool. For you.
Oh boy.
So trim off that
Yep.
and trim off this side as well.
You good?
And this actually is one of the things that we do, and this is actually one of the things we do in the cooking class.
Gotcha.
Yeah, too.
Okay.
All right, go ahead and cut it a little bit wider than.
Okay.
Nice. Well, you know how to use a knife. That's good technique.
It's weird cutting it on stainless steel, though.
Yeah.
Without
I don't recommend
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And then.
Oh, nice.
But for demonstration purposes. So this is tagliatelle. Nice and wide, and I cut them long.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the kind of thing that is perfect for buttered noodles, with meat, roasted chicken. Yummy. Yummy.
I'm getting so hungry already.
All right, let's see here. Let's give it a second to get nice. It looks pretty good, but you know that that texture on the outside right now is because the die is not warm yet. There's actually a blade that's spinning around inside of there, and well, the auger is forcing the pasta forward through the die, and it's creating friction on the die. So it will warm up eventually. Now it's getting a little bit nicer. So notice how I'm holding the knife. Notice how I'm angling the knife slightly into the die and trying to get a nice clean cut. There is an automatic cutter for this, of course.
More custom.
But that's not fun. Would you like to try?
Yeah.
Go forward and down.
Uh-huh.
That's it. Otherwise, you're good. It's fun. All right.
About
let me come around.
that 3/4.
Yep. All right. All right. You ready? Give it a shot.
Yep.
See? It's all about establishing the rhythm. Breathe.
It is therapeutic again.
Yeah. It is. It's nice. And again, you want to try to make each one the same. And the dough is working perfectly right now. Those look just great. I'm going to show you the sort of basics of my ravioli process, okay? This is some cheese. This is ricotta cheese, cow's milk ricotta. And I seasoned it before you got here, so it had a little time to marry, the flavors marry and get wonderful. But why don't you go ahead and stir that up, make it nice and creamy.
Okay.
Whenever I do anything in the kitchen, I'm always looking for the balance of flavors, salt to sweet, you know, sour. Just try to get that. Now the ricotta itself is nice and creamy.
Yep.
And it has a good amount of sweetness to it. So it's up to me to find that balance to bring it out. You add a little bit of salt, but not too much. You know? The color is actually coming from the organic eggs.
You're the expert. What does it need?
Nothing.
Perfect?
Yeah, it's good.
Of course it's perfect. Scott
good.
made it.
Yeah. I wrap the dough tightly in some sort of saran wrap, plastic wrap, a plastic bag, even a towel, something to keep it from drying out. If you get that dry, crusty film on there, like this little bit right here, that will stay throughout the entire product.
Okay.
You know, so it will not go away through the kneading process. So it definitely needs to go away. You know.
Go away.
So this is an 8-pound hunk of dough, and I'm going to have you feel it. Thank you. I'm going to have you feel it.
Okay.
And see that it's also not too wet to the touch.
Yep.
It's not tacky at all.
Yep.
It's flexible, but it has that elasticity. It springs back. I think it's going to work just great. I made this about an hour before you showed up here at the shop, so that it had time to relax.
Sure.
Like I said, dough happens when it wants to happen. So if you ever tried to roll out a pizza dough and it just wouldn't roll out for you, it's because, you know, the dough needs to relax a little bit more to stretch it out further. But that will work out just perfect for us.
Great.
Okay. And then this little bit here, I'm going to wrap it back up. You can see it's starting to dry already. What I like to do is, ideally, do you know anything about the dough sheeter? Have you ever seen one of those or how they work?
Not really. No.
Its job is to take this thick piece of dough and make it thinner and thinner and thinner. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll run it through several times, and each time we'll adjust the rollers so that they're getting smaller and smaller. It's important to go gradually, because if you go too fast, it will just tear the dough, and we don't want that. We still want it to be nice and strong and even. So I was just taking a moment to try to get it as long and thin as I could by hand.
Okay. And
then I'll take a moment to roll it out as well. And this one's pretty good. It's kind of uniform, you know, getting pretty good at it.
After
30 years.
30 years, yeah.
Yeah. But not bad. Not bad. Now, you can take a look right here.
Okay.
Right in here. And you can see that's the widest setting. Right? The finest setting and then the widest. We're going to start at the widest and slowly work our way towards.
Okay. How many times does that usually take?
Quite a bit. You know, quite a bit. Sell a ravioli at 10 in the morning. But I've done it.
But noon.
That's right. Yeah, and you know, even though you can't sit down here and it's all to take home and cook, people are out doing their errands in the middle of the day.
Yep.
You know, so they stop by then, they work it into their time. People come here from Albany to load up on some things and go back.
It's great.
You know, from all over actually. That's nice. Just a little description of what we're doing. Right now we're running the dough through, and you can see it's pretty strong.
Yep.
Looks really good. All right, I'm gonna have you try.
Of course.
And all you're going to do, all right, don't be scared. The machine will do it for you. Pick it up, and we're using the back of our hands still. And hold it like that.
Okay.
And then where we go? Just drop it in here.
And it will take it.
Yep, it'll take it, and then just gradually lift and feed, gradually lift and feed. The trick is not to stretch it. Okay. You know, you want it to sort of relax right here as it's going down into the machine, all right? So, do like that.
Okay.
I'll make the adjustment. Okay, you ready?
Here we go.
All right. There you go. Good. Nice. And lay it down. There you go. Right there.
Okay. There.
Oh yeah. That's it. Yeah, and you're just feeding it right to the tray, and that relaxes it a little bit. It looks just great. That looks just great. All right. So the idea is to lay it down and let it relax. There we go. Okay. You can see it's a little tight, right? Mm-hmm. So it will relax so that we get a little indent. One more time. There we go. The idea is not to stretch them too much so that they break once we fill them.
Okay.
Okay. So, there you go. 3 for you and 3 for me, and you can just set these right into the pockets. Yep. Gentle at first.
Yep.
Very good.
Okay, that's it.
And then just gradually press in the center. Yeah, that's all. Just a little bit, you know? Cool. That's our filling from before. Lovely. Okay, creating a little pocket for us, training the dough so it'll stay like that. I like to wash it so that it will seal really nicely.
That's just water.
This particular one is just water. That dough was moist enough that I really don't even need this, but I need to ensure that they're going to stay. So just put a little bit on there and spread it nice and thin all the way through. And at this point you have to work a little quickly so the dough doesn't dry out.
Yep.
All the corners and all the seams, very good. Okay. It's important to scrape it. I use a scoop because it's just about perfect. Like that.
Okay.
All right. Scrape it flat. Make them all the exact same size. Okay, give it a shot. Let's see how you do. Good. Yep.
Good.
Nice.
Are you even leaving a little bit of?
A little
That's
bit
okay.
less. Yep, just like that. But this is how I do them every day. Yeah. It goes pretty quick.
Yep.
And it is much faster than the traditional way that I learned from my grandmother. You would fill half of the circle and fold the other half over the top and then cut them all individually by hand. You know, so it takes a little bit longer. It takes a little bit longer. But the hand-formed ones are also beautiful. We do that a lot also. What do you think?
Not bad.
Not bad. I'll take a look and make sure.
Of course you will.
They look just great though. And then the idea is so that they can do this at home. And people do. They have parties, they do it with kids, and it's a great way to get together and enjoy some time with everybody. And then you get to eat.
Yeah, that's the fun part,
Which is
right?
great. Yeah. It's
And the class, usually the actual teaching of the class takes about
2.5 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. You can see this process took us a little while, and there's 2 of us.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
So how many raviolis are going in a bag? So you said you were making
A dozen. I sell them
Okay.
by the dozen, which is a pound.
Okay.
Essentially a pound, yes. Okay.
Can you tell the difference between Scott's and Matt's?
Well, let's see. Couple. Just a couple. Chefs are particular. There we go. You don't have to show me making the corrections.
No, it's the fun part. It's the part that Michael likes.
That's it, you're off the team.
So I'll have to go back
Not
to the chamber
bad,
now.
man. A hat.
There we go.
Yeah, wonderful. Grandpa would be proud. Cool. That's all.
So we're flattening it out.
Yeah, you know, it's important to take the time to make sure there's no air bubbles in there. So I try to take a minute to do it by hand, make sure there's no air bubbles. And you can see the more that we roll it over, the forms help to cut and seal, which is really helpful when you're making them en masse like this. But they look just great. Make sure we got all the corners, all the edges. If they were done well, it should just come right off. You can peel from the other end there, carefully. Pretty good. Pretty good. Nice. Got it? Throw it over. Yeah. Not bad. I think that's okay.
Pretty good?
Yeah. Yeah, they're solid. All right, let's see how they look.
There we go.
Not bad. Oops.
Okay.
There you go. Voila.
Voila.
Voila. They're beautiful.
Nice.
You did great.
There you go. I'm giving it back to you.
I got it.
Before I
you
drop
did
it.
just great. All right, so that's the basic process. You put in a full day's work.
That's it. That's a wrap. I'm gonna go home. Now I'm hungry. So
Yeah.
Mike and I have to go eat.
Yeah.
Hey Scott, thanks so much
I
for showing
appreciate
us
you
around.
coming by, though, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We had a good time,
Excellent.
and I'm sure we're gonna send a lot of people your way as they watch the show.
Please.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, good to see you.